Alright guys, welcome back to another Now Loading on PopNerdTV. I'm your host, as always, Alex Thompson, and once again, I have Jonathan Paul with me, CEO PopNerd, and we are here to talk about video games once again. New releases, game news, and some retros. If you're on our Patreon page, you definitely need to check it out. And if you're not on our Patreon page, you need to donate and then check it out.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well guys, so we're gonna get to our key releases of July 17th. We're going to start the week off. Let's let you start the week off.
You want me to start the week off?
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
All right, so I'm going to go with Moon Hunters.
Okay.
Moon Hunters comes out on July 19th for the Xbox One. It's already out for Steam and for PlayStation 4. It's from Kit Fox Games. And it's a pretty cool little RPG.
Right.
You know, it's a top-down classic RPG. Looks like something from the Super Nintendo.
It does.
I mean, you and I were talking when we were looking at the game, is that I thought it had a feel of like Chrono Trigger. You mentioned Dragon Quest, which I think either one of those you could totally grab. There's a couple of pieces in it that you could totally draw inspiration from there, and it's cool, man. It's got boosts of multiple runs. And these runs last roughly, from what I'm seeing online from people who've been playing it on Steam, they're lasting roughly about 30 to 60 minutes. So it's a
short.
very short game, but it's a Kickstarter game.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't expect like a whole full-blown, I have 150 hours worth of gameplay for it. Yeah.
Right. So, but I think the cool thing about this game is that it's the replay value of it. Right. So, more people that I've seen playing the game, there's a lot of people that were very disappointed that it was very short. A couple of people said that they were done with the game in like 15 minutes.
Oh wow!
That's crazy to me.
It makes me think of like those old, I mean, like whenever you actually got them on console with the arcade versions games, where you could just keep putting the quarter in and just finish it in like 25 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it feels a little bit like that, based on just what players are saying, like on Steam and on PlayStation. Because I've been reading what other players have said about it on the PlayStation 4 and on Steam, and then, what I've seen a lot of them say is that they're talking about how it's short, and you get through the game in like roughly 30 minutes to an hour. But the cool thing about it is once you get through with your run and you start back over at the beginning, you retain all the upgrades and all of the abilities from that last run, and you get to start the new run with all of those abilities, and you get to build up even more.
See, there had to be some kind of replay value to this. If you have a short game, you have to have a way to bring the person back. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, let me beat this and then
why are we
return
playing
it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so I think that's cool. I think it's going to get old maybe kind of quickly.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, people that I'd reached out to, like on the forums and stuff, they were essentially saying that you had about 12 to 15 hours of gameplay out of it. And then after that, which is essentially roughly, I would say, about 12 to 15 runs through the game. And then after that, they just all kind of like lost interest. So you can probably get 12 to 13 hours of gameplay out of it, which is not bad. I mean, there are some AAA games that are about that long. Yeah. You know, so that's not bad. So again, you can run through it once. If you die, you go back to the beginning, you start back over, but you can retain those skills and items, and you can use those for another run, which is cool.
See, that makes me think then too, like you said, where is it going to get kind of redundant? Because I guess if you beat it, you're going back and you have the same stuff.
Right.
I guess the difficulty, I'm going to assume, is going to get a little bit harder each time you play through.
Well, so that's the other part about it, which is very interesting, is that you can change it up because you can make moral decisions. You can.
Oh, okay. So there's.
I mean, because it's kind of the classic RPG, right? They're saying that, you know, you can essentially shape the world around you based on all of your decisions. But there's a lot of games like that do that very same thing. So, you know, like KOTOR or, you know, Elder Scrolls or, you know, a lot of RPGs.
Right.
But that adds another little caveat to it. So if you played the game one way in one run, you could go and that second run and play it a completely different way.
That's cool.
And so there's several different options that you can do. You can you're shaping your emotions, your choices, your personality, and those actions that you take throughout the game will eventually shape the way the world reacts to you as a player. Which that's cool. So add that to the replay value of starting each run with your same abilities and items that you had from a previous run. Okay, cool. I could get 12 to 15 hours of gameplay through this game, I think, pretty easily.
I know you were saying that once you die, you start from the beginning. How much frustration, like, do you literally start from the very beginning? Because, like, what if you're on the last boss and then you just die?
That I don't know. That I have not played the game. All I've seen is just what other players have played on Steam. With it coming to the Xbox One, I'm probably going to grab it and then try it out and then see what happens. Man, if you get all the way to the end and you don't, you have to start back over, that would suck.
It's in true Super Nintendo fashion right there, right?
Right.
With most
that
of the games
or,
back then.
That or Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, just leave your console on all night.
And just let it sit. Right, for sure. And just pray that nobody hits the cartridge, because if somebody hits the cartridge,
or mom comes in and is like, oh,
right, let me turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, for sure.
Well, for my game this week, July 20th, by Motiga Games. It's a game called Gigantic.
Right.
Okay, and we watched the trailer for it, and both of us instantly said this kind of gives us an Overwatch feel.
Right.
Exactly. And just like the graphics a little bit, the idea of the characters and everything. Well, it comes out for PC and Xbox One, and it's a third-person shooter that is a 5-on-5 competition, kind of like Overwatch, where you're running around and you're using different skill sets of each of your team's characters to beat the other team, basically.
Right.
Now, one of the things that does make this different, though, is you can release a thing called a Guardian. A Guardian. And it's like a giant mystical monster that you can unleash to help your team defeat the other.
Titan.
It's huge. It's a giant Titan. We saw, like, I think it was like a griffin.
And then like a serpent.
We saw a serpent thing.
Type of dragon.
Yeah. I mean, it's all kinds of goofy stuff. I mean, it looks fun, though.
Right.
That's the main thing.
Right.
And one of the craziest things is it has over 18 characters to choose from. In the trailer, we only saw like maybe
a handful. Yeah, maybe like 5 or 6 or something like that.
And so I'm assuming that this leaves room, for later on you can download more characters or whatever. And then, overall, like I said, it really just feels like an Overwatch, but it looks fun at the same time. It has a different aspects and different little tweaks here and there.
It's really actionable. It seems like the pacing's going to be really nice. But again, I think you're right. I think it's, we're in this Overwatch craze, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just another one of those. I think it's a game like Overwatch. But I don't think that should necessarily be a bad thing.
No, it shouldn't sway anyone away from it.
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
enjoy Overwatch, obviously you're probably going to enjoy this.
Yeah, I like the idea that they're inserting the Guardians in these giant, Titan creatures, which it's almost kind of like they are like the capture the flag. But although having these Titans and introducing them into this, or these Guardians, are we just really going to get to the point where we're just fighting Guardians?
I know, right? It's like, who can take down whose Guardian first?
Right, right. That's the only thing. There's got to be, something built within the game to where, okay, even if you take a Guardian down, you can still fight with your characters.
See, another thing that I was wondering, and I mean, I really didn't find anything on it, but I'm wondering if there's some, I guess you can't control the Guardian. I guess it can kind of,
I don't know. I was confused by that too. It would be awesome if you could.
Yeah, or at least like you pick up like in Star Wars Battlefront, you pick up like a token or something, and then it makes you go into the ship and you can shoot people or get into the walkers or whatever.
Right.
And it leaves you to wonder too. How do you summon the Guardians? Do you have to build up a meter, or do you have to? Do you automatically just get it?
Do you get it? Yeah. Because if you get it, then people right out of the gate are just going to go summon. Guardian versus Guardian, almost like playing Evolve, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, because who would not want to just take on ownership or control of a Guardian and just go in there and just start destroying everybody. Yeah. Right.
But I mean, the game looks fun. It's something I'm going to try probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want to try the game just to figure out what's going on because I have so many questions. I want the answers.
PC and Xbox One, right?
It is on PC, Xbox One on July 20th.
Okay.
And so if you want the game,
hopefully it comes out on PS4 too.
Maybe. That's weird that it's not going to be. I don't know if it's like some kind of developer thing or what, but it's
Maybe
weird that
it's an initial release and then it'll release later.
Yeah, maybe,
Yep.
maybe.
Okay.
But all right, guys. So moving on from our key releases, we are going to get into our gaming news. And now
Right.
some exciting stuff that we have this week is basically Nintendo Monopoly.
Right.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean,
Right.
when you think of Nintendo, you think of video games. You don't really think of like the board game aspect of it.
Right.
But really, they've been doing a great job like running the board game like scene
for
for
sure.
Nintendo too. I mean, like who doesn't want to play as, Mario and
Right,
Monopoly or
right.
something?
Well, I mean, remember, Nintendo as a company started off as a trading
Exactly.
card, a card company, a traditional, board game type of company. So it only makes sense that they come back
Right.
and become a Monopoly game. But have you seen the characters? So the characters that you start off with are Mario, Peach, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong,
Very cool.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have substitutions for the money. I'm assuming they're coins. Or,
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. The coins are going to be the substitution for the money. The die is different too, so you get 2 dice. And so what you get is one die will determine how many spaces you get to move, while the other one determines what abilities you can use with which character. So
That's
pretty
kind of
man.
cool. That's kind of cool.
Right, because
Take
they're gonna have bosses, right, that you'll have to battle against on the board. So having the move die, but then also the ability die, that's pretty cool. That's a nice little twist.
So you buy like properties and stuff too?
Yeah,
or-
you can. You can buy properties. You can also buy. Essentially, the game is you earn points by buying properties, collecting coins, and beating bosses. And of course, with Monopoly, the character or the player with the most points wins the game.
I mean, you got a lot of creative freedom here too. I mean, it's like instead of go to jail, go to Bowser's Castle, or
Right,
like
or Battle Bowser,
or something like that. It makes
right.
it makes me wonder though how into the video game feel of it are they? It's like, can I buy property level 3-1
Right,
castle?
right,
Or what
right, right.
Yeah.
Can I buy the Mushroom Kingdom Castle, or can I buy this ghost house
Right.
from Super Mario World?
Exactly, right?
Right.
No,
or
it's
can I
cool.
buy a property from Star World? Right?
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
You have
Yep.
so much because the Mario world is so big, you have
Right.
so much to work with.
Right.
And I mean, that leaves it too, because, with Monopoly, you get updated versions of them.
Right.
So this is a way that they can eventually just keep morphing
Oh,
more and more and
absolutely.
more,
I mean, think about it. You could do like a Star Wars, version of Monopoly.
Yeah.
And make it, maybe do 2 characters that are imperialist and then 2 characters that are a part of the
Or
rebellion.
even like a New Hope Monopoly, and this is
Oh,
Jedi
right.
Monopoly,
Right.
and this, yeah.
Right. I mean,
That'd
you
be
could
cool,
totally
too.
spin off
Yeah.
on a whole, myriad of different.
How much do you want to milk?
Well, you totally could. If you are the makers of Monopoly, which I think is Mattel, I might be
Yeah.
wrong on that. But if you are the makers of Monopoly, you can totally milk this because this is going to sell.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to buy this just to have it.
I mean, it's great with your kids and everything, too.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, because I can't remember the last time I actually played a board game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the actual last board type of game I played was probably Mario Party.
Yeah.
Which
no.
this is essentially Mario
basically
Party.
Mario Party.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
that's cool though.
Right.
But no, Nintendo taking it over. Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the question that we were talking about earlier. Is like they've found their niche.
Yeah.
Right. Nintendo has found their niche. They were the big dogs on campus all the way up
For a
through.
long time.
The Nintendo 64 really. But then PlayStation and Microsoft just absolutely took over. And you kind of sigh. The GameCube. To me, I still think that the GameCube is a totally underrated console.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a totally underrated console. There's a lot more games on that system than most people realize. But they have totally found their niche. And, you and I were just talking about it. They are essentially like the Disney of
true.
the video game industry, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think video games, what is the #1 character that you think of?
Mario.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, even if you're a young kid or basically any age, you can pick out like Donkey Kong or
Right,
Mario. Or
right.
even if you don't play video games, it's
Right.
one of those things. It's just like with Disney. If you see like a Disney
Right.
princess, you can most of the time just name them right off the bat.
Right.
Cinderella, whatever.
Right,
So-
Sony and Microsoft, they don't have that character.
Right.
Right? They don't have a Mario. I mean, PlayStation has Crash, but Crash was
It's like saying that
Never-
Sega Saturn had like Gex or something
right,
like that.
right.
Yeah.
It was never. I mean, it was never fully 100% Sony, right?
Right.
Because Crash and Naughty Dog went and sent the game
Mm-hmm.
out, to other platforms. So, yeah, and Crash is not Mario. I mean,
exactly.
Mario as a character is such an iconic character. I mean, right up there with Sonic. You know, I
Rich
mean,
histories.
right, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo's totally taken over the kids market, and I think the Switch has done that too. It's brought in the kids that were playing the Wii and the Wii U, and now they've upgraded them to the Switch, and it's still kind of cool enough where even the younger kids and the younger crowds are still playing, the Switch and Mario, because now they're getting Mario games on, the iPads and on your iPhones, So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see like a Mario Kart or a Mario Party on.
Well,
like the
Sega is
iPhone.
starting to get into that too
Right,
now, which
right,
they're doing their whole
right.
like Sega like library that you can just play
Right.
on there and stuff.
the Sonic
so-
games on the mobile platforms is actually really fun.
Yeah.
And it plays just like, what was it, Subway Surfer, I think is the game I'm thinking of. So it plays just like that. So before too long, Nintendo's going to start doing that same thing.
I'm sure. I mean, we already had the Mario Run or
Right,
whatever,
which was
so
actually
It was
fun.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. But hopefully we'll see more out of Nintendo. Well, hopefully they'll keep their momentum going.
Right,
That is our main
right.
thing that we want. Because I would
Yeah,
love
I
to see
mean,
the
it's-
resurgence. I'm sorry. I would like to see them be on top again, even though I know it's
I know,
never gonna happen.
man.
but-
I mean, like I told you before, the Super Nintendo is like my favorite console of all time. That or the PlayStation, and you can't have a video game industry without Nintendo and Mario.
Exactly.
You just can't have it.
It's the mascot,
Right.
man.
You can't have it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Now Loading. Also, check out popnerdtv.com for articles, reviews, and other stuff. Go to our YouTube page. Subscribe to us if you like this. Also, leave us comments. If you have anything you want to say or bring up, or maybe you have an idea for a future episode, please, by all means, say it. Also, check out popnerdtv.store
Right.
for all our merchandise for, fangirls, jump scare. Maybe we'll get some Now Loading hats or
It's
something.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying it. It's like 2 months going on,
Right.
but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but
gonna happen.
there's a lot of cool stuff on there, and we'll be back again next Monday. So stick around, look out for us, and we'll see you next time. I'm Alex Thompson.
I'm Jonathan Paul.
Later.
Bye, guys.